Hello, hello, everyone. I'm trying to remember if I forgot anything, but that's kind of hard, isn't it? Because if I remembered, then I wouldn't forget. I think that's everything. Bam. Hello. Maybe Rory go. I just don't know. Are you guys ready for book club? The last book club of 2023 is here. Again, hold on. I'm just making sure everything's... It's funny how, like, depending on which tab I have open, look at that. It changes the lighting so much. That's wild. Anyway, hello, my friends. I have to have this this open so I can actually read chat because YouTube is being stupid. There we go. I can see chat now. So, I need this open. I have so many things open. I'm sorry. Oh my god, I'm all over the place today. It's been a wild day. I took a 2-hour nap. It wasn't quite 2 hours. It was almost 2 hours. Because I like went into straight up food coma after my lunch, and I ate lunch early, but I ate way too much. Rory's just crying. He doesn't. Today's just been a wild ride. So I have my Christmas tree up. You guys can't see it, but it's right over there. I have my Christmas tree up. Rory already doesn't like walking on hardwood. For some reason, he hates walking by the Christmas tree even more than just walking on the hardwood. I don't know why. So he literally just stands on the other side of the tree and cries, and I have to like encourage him. Oh my goodness, he just went all the way around the kitchen island. All the way around. Look at him. I'm so proud of you. That was so much hardwood for you to walk on, you poor, poor baby. You're so sad. Yeah, so sad. Such a good boy. So good. Anyway, before we were so rudely interrupted by our special guest. Yeah, today's been a wild ride. I made this delicious thing that Acorn told me how to make. It's like a circle, like a round loaf of bread. There's a word for that. I don't remember the word right now. A little round loaf of bread, a wheel of brie. I love brie. Some butter, and Acorn used jam. I actually made a raspberry compote because I have a lot of raspberries. And thank you. And bacon, and Acorn used walnuts, and I thought I had walnuts, but I didn't have walnuts, so I used pecans, whatever, pecans. I say pecans. So I used pecans. Anyway, and you bake it, and it was delicious, and it was cheesy, and I ate too much of it, and I wanted to die. So I took a 2-hour nap today. So I didn't get a lot of the things done today that I wanted to get done today. I was really excited to do a lot of shit today, but then like I had to sleep. Like I could not have stayed awake for another moment. My eyes were like drooping closed while I was working. I was like, this is the last thing I have to do for work. I'm going to do this and then I'm going to bed. And so I started my nap at 2:48. I checked my watch and I woke up at like 4:30 because I didn't set an alarm or anything. I was like, my work is done. I'll get back to them. If anybody needs me, I'll get back to them when I get to them. I work from home, so that's why this is possible. It was a great nap. I woke up and I was like, what year is it? You know, good old 2-hour nap. But yeah, so today it's book club. Book club is normally the first Monday of the month. You might have noticed that it is not that. I'm not even sure which Monday of the month it is. It's not the last one. I'm pretty sure we have one more. Yeah, it's always the third Monday of the month. We're not that far off. We're almost at the last Monday of the month, but we're not at the last Monday of the month, and that's what matters. So, the book that we read this month. So we picked this book November 14th. So November, we were also a little bit behind, right? So November 14th, we picked this book, A Darker Shade of Magic. That is what the Wheel of Fate decided for us. That is one of the books that was in our to read. I put them all in the wheel. We spin it, it chooses. Everybody can put books into that bookshelf for us to choose from. I think Trash is the one who had entered this one, and the wheel chose it. So we chose this book November 14th. I did not get this book until December 13th. I think I actually just threw away that little slip of paper and I should have kept it. So I got this, camera, hello. No? What are you focusing on? I don't know, there we go. I got this book, so I got this from my library. Love a good library. I finally got my library card. Whoop. I go to check out this book, it wasn't in, but they had one in at a sister library. And so they're like, we will get it from them and you can pick it up here. I was like, that's great. Thanks. There's actually no interaction. I did this all online. So it comes in December 13th. You know what day that was? It was last Tuesday. It comes in December 13th. I go and pick it up same day. I start reading it same day. I finished the book today. I probably could have finished it sooner, but I finished the book today. It's right under 400 pages. It's 398 pages. I can't tell you the last time I read a book this fast. And it wasn't because I was like, oh fuck, I gotta rush to make sure that I get this done. I just realized I was on top chat and not live chat. Not that it matters because no one's here. Anyway, I was rushing. I wasn't rushing. I wasn't rushing to finish this book. I was just reading it. And like, I was rushing through it because I was like, what the fuck happens next? I have not been this into a book in a very long time. I think the last time that I read a book like this was the first time that I read Turtles All the Way Down by John Green, which came out years ago. Like that's the last time I was this intrigued by a book. No, I've really liked a lot of our other books that we've read. Like House in the Cerulean Sea, House on the Cerulean Sea. It's the title's weird, but like I love that book. I gave that book 5 stars. Still give it 5 stars. But it wasn't like a super fast page turner, right? This was a page turner. This I was like, holy fuck, what's going to happen next? And a lot of it, like you can kind of call, maybe not. A lot of it is very shocking. And especially once you get towards the end, I was joking in Discord. I was like, holy fuck, I'm gonna get whiplash. Because I'm just like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Every fucking twist, right? Very good book. Lots of twists. Some of them expected, some of them not. Then there were like towards the very end, it was literally, so the book is divided. It's not just chapters, right? It's like sections. I don't even remember how many sections there are. Let me see if it says it in here, but it has sections. Yes, Rory? Excuse me. Thank you. And then each section has chapters. So I don't even know how many chapters are in this book. I have no idea. Okay, so there's no table of contents, but the sections are labeled. So let me just see what this one is. There's 14 little sections, and those sections are divided into, I don't know, like 4 or 5 chapters, maybe, sometimes more. My camera's being really stupid. Is it trying to focus on the book, maybe? I don't know. Camera. There we go. So yeah, so there's 14 little sections, 4 or 5 chapters, I'd say each on average. You do the math. Some of them are like literally one chapter. Maybe it's 14 chapters and then those are divided into sections. Maybe that's a better way to put it. I'm down now. Because one of the pages, like chapters, is just, it's one page, which like books do that all the time, right? But like some of it's very short, some of it's like very detailed, very in-depth. But in that literally the last 2 chapters, sections, whatever I'm calling them, I'm going to call them chapters, the last 2 chapters. So there's 14 chapters. So the last 2, so 13 and 14, there's like 3 things that happen. I'm like, I literally, this whole book, I'm like, wow, I'm really enjoying this. I really like the writing. I really like the characters. I liked the world building. It's a very good book. And it's still a very good book. I want to say that. But there's like 3 things that happen in those last 2 chapters that I'm like, we could have done without this. Or, hello? Are we gonna come back to that? Honestly, right now, I feel like there's 2. No, there's still 3. Yeah. No, yeah. Okay, I had to think about it for a second because 2 of them happened just today. One of them happened, I guess, yesterday when I was reading. And then, because again, it's these last 2 chapters. I finished this today at like 6 p.m. And I'm still just, those 3 things. This was a 5-star book to me until like these 3, even like when one of them happened, I was still gonna give it to him. Like, actually, I don't know. Like if 1 or 2 of these things had happened, it still would have been 5 stars. On Goodreads, you can't do half stars. And so I gave it 4 stars. I would give it 4.5 stars if I could. It's a 4.5-star book, but I'm not rounding up because of those 3 things. If only 2 of them had happened, maybe. If only 1 of them had happened, it would still be a 5-star book. Right now it's a 4.5-star book, and that's fine. and we're going to talk about that. A couple of things. Hold on. I'm like pulling shit up. I made a list and then I deleted the list. You know what? No, I'm not going to talk about that yet. I'll talk about that at the end of stream. I had something that I wanted to go over, but I'm going to go over that at the end of stream. So a couple of things that we're going to do. I have some stuff that I want to talk about. There's some changes sort of to the schedule happening, mostly for book club. Not mostly for book club. It's really only we'll go over it. So end of stream, changes coming, schedule changes, new book for January. So technically, like normally we would pick, like this would be December's book that we're picking this month, but it's December 19th. We're not doing it. There's not going to be a December book. Technically, this was, I think technically we didn't do a November book. So this was December's book. We didn't do a November book. We're going to pick January's book. So we're going to have a little bit of time off. You can start reading the book ahead of time if you want to. You don't have to start reading it yet. You don't have to read it at all. If you don't want to participate in book club, if you do want to participate in book club, I put the Goodreads link in the description and you can request access. We have the Capslock Crew Discord where we have a discussion board and also where we do these calls. So if you want to join that, request access in the comments and I can get it to you. Otherwise, you can just follow along with the Goodreads link, whatever you want to do. So yeah, that is that. I do have 2 Advent beers. I'm behind a day. So yesterday I was behind a lot. Yesterday I was behind 4 days. I drank 3 beers yesterday. They were all very good. Yesterday's, all of them were good. I have 2 beers that I need to get through today while we discuss this book. I forgot to put them in the fridge, so I put one of them in the freezer. So I'm going to go grab that real fast before we start this discussion. So I will be right back. Hello? I will be right back. And then we will start talking about this book. Acorn, hello. Thank you. I went to get, ooh, my cookies and cream porter. I'm very excited for this one. See if I can open it with these nails. That sounds good, right? I'm gonna not. Oh, it smells awful. I'm not gonna judge it based on the smell. I just got a big whiff of it. So these Advent beers, the oatmeal stout was really good. I had an oatmeal stout, I think on Wednesday. The oatmeal stout was very good. The hazelnut stout was awful. It was legitimately one of the most disgusting things I've ever tasted. I was very disappointed. So I'm a little bit worried about this because of the smell, because the hazelnut also had a bit of a smell. But yeah, let me pour this and then hop into discussing the book. Yeah, it's just, I don't know how they make their stouts and porters. Like the lagers and shit have been very good for the most part. The pumpkin spice ale was legitimately like, is a top 10 beer for me. It like the flavor was so good, but the porters and the stouts have not been good. I did not do a good job of pouring this. Whoopsie. Yeah, that's not a good pour. Oh well. It smells awful. It's not the worst beer I've ever had. It is still leagues better than the hazelnut. I legitimately don't taste any cookies and cream. Like, none. It's not bad. Sad no cookies and cream, right? It's not bad. I'm gonna drink it. Let me pour the rest in here. I just don't know. I don't know why they struggle so much to make dark beers. Say hello for me. Say hello. Wow. Well, good boy. Oh, thank you. Anyway, are you gonna stay up here? Yeah? Wow. So, as I was saying before I ran to go get my beer, do you want to lick it? He did. He did want to lick it. Darker Shade of Magic is the book that we read this month. This was, here, hold on. I'm going to pull up. What's it's called? Goodreads. Okay. I wasn't sure if that was the right, oh shit, I have to move this. Y'all, YouTube has been so annoying. I have to have this window open, like the live stream window open to see chat, or I can look at it like up here, but that's kind of annoying. I don't like to do that. So we're doing it this way. Oh, that's our, this is the Wheel of Fate for the industry. So Darker Shade of Magic, that's the book that we read. I honestly didn't know what to expect. I was very, very pleasantly surprised. I want y'all to be able to see it even in the, there we go. I was very pleasantly surprised with how this book actually ended up going. I honestly didn't expect much. As a 4.07, which is a good rating on Goodreads. I forgot the name of the site, even though I'm looking at it. But Crown Chasers also had a really high rating on Goodreads, and since this is also a fantasy book, I was a little bit worried. We haven't read too many fantasy books this year. Here, I'm gonna go into the group to look at what we've actually read this year, so we can go over that, because we should also do that since this is the last book club of the year. See what we've read. So this was our 9th book that we finished. That's wild. How did we only read 9 books? We started this in January. I guess we skipped 3 months. That's fine. This is not in order at all. But The Eighth Detective, so that was one that Trash suggested. So that was a really interesting book. It was like a collection of detective stories while also being a detective story. I am not a detective story fan, so that one was not for me. As you can see, I gave it 3 stars. But it, like, the writing was really good. And the stories were interesting. I'm just not a big detective story fan. I don't like the, like, I feel like it's always like a whodunit, and it's always pretty obvious whodunit. Some of them, they were pretty interesting and I wasn't expecting it, but most of it was like, well, yep, that makes sense, you know? So, it's detective, got 3 stars for me. Gideon the Ninth. I think I was going through it when we read this book. This was early summer, maybe midsummer. I think this was right around the time I was moving to. I really enjoyed this book. Gideon the Ninth is a very interesting book. The writing is great. The characters are great. For whatever reason, I could not sit down and read this book. I think sometimes you just go through a phase where you just can't. I honestly couldn't really read anything during this time. I was struggling to read anything. So I'm probably about 2/3 of the way through Gideon the Ninth. I really want to finish it. I really liked what I read. And there's more books. Like, it's the first in a series. So we'll see if I actually read that. I really want to. House in the Cerulean Sea. That has been, other than Turtles All the Way Down, that has been my favorite book that we read this year in book club. Turtles All the Way Down I've already read before, though, so I'm not going to count it. House in the Cerulean Sea, favorite book we read. I think it was the second book that we read even. It was a pretty early read. Very cute. Again, interesting characterizations. The writing was really good. It was really interesting. And like, I didn't know where things were going. I had no idea, but like in a good way. And it felt like everything was really like nicely wrapped up at the end. That's one thing that I like in a book, is when things are nicely wrapped up in the end, or if they're not, there's a reason and you know the reason, right? So Crown Chasers. Crown Chasers is what we started book club with. That was our first book, January of 2022. I gave it 2 stars. I honestly think that's generous. I think maybe I wanted to give it 1.5 stars, but I couldn't. You can't do half stars on Goodreads for some reason. Crown Chasers is definitely a book for some people. It is not a book for me. First of all, the naming conventions, awful. I still won't get over the fact that this is a sci-fi fantasy futuristic novel and the main character's name is Alyssa. Like, we already have people named Pilot Inspector. Come on, you can give me more than Alyssa. The writing wasn't great. It's a young adult novel, and it reads like a young adult novel. Like, this is like an early young adult, in my opinion, that just by the writing style. Things happened that didn't make sense. Things didn't happen that should have, in order for things to make sense. It kind of just, now that I'm thinking about it, it kind of feels like somebody like put an idea into an AI and the AI spat out like the rough outline of a book, and then they wrote that book. Maybe the AI helped write the book too. I don't know. I know there are people who like this. Obviously, it has a really high rating on Goodreads. I gave it 2 stars. It's like a 4.5 or something. 4.18. Okay, so it's gone down, I think. But yeah, I don't think it deserves a 4.18. But that's just me. Different people like different things, and that's fine. Next here on the list is Sadie. So Sadie, I think, was our last book. No, The Dark Tide was our last book. So before that was Sadie. Sadie was really interesting because, it was sort of like a detective novel. Except instead of it being a detective, we were following along with like a true crime podcast, which is very interesting. It's divided up with like true crime podcast and then live events. So it's like the live event happens and then we read the true crime podcast, like recapping those events. They take place at 2 separate times. And it's never really clear on either end, like which section we're at until it actually happens. Really interesting take on a book. I've never read anything quite like it. It does end on, I think, what some people would consider a cliffhanger, but I viewed that as intentional, because if you're listening to a true crime podcast and they're reviewing a case that is cold or unfinished, that podcast is just going to end when it runs out of information. And that's sort of exactly what happens in the book. And I wasn't left wanting for more. It was very like, while there's no definitive like ending, it was finished. And I really liked that. I gave it 5 stars. It was a good book. 100,000 Kingdoms. I requested this book because it is by one of my favorite authors. N.K. Jemisin writes the Broken Earth trilogy, and I fucking love those books. They are legitimately some of the best books I've ever read in my life in terms of like every capacity. They're well written. There's romance that makes sense. There's heartbreak. There's fantasy. There's magic. It's a great series. Read the Broken Earth trilogy. Do not read the 100,000 Kingdoms. Don't read it. I gave it 3 stars. I honestly I think that was pretty generous. I think that she must have written this when she was much younger than when she wrote the Broken Earth trilogy. The writing was not good. Sorry, N.K. Jemisin. Like you're a wordsmith, and this wasn't it. You were still heating up the fire, I think. The writing was not good. The characters were very bland. It was very obvious where things were going until actually, no, even when she fucks the god, it was pretty obvious that's where they were going. It was one of the worst sex scenes I've ever read in my entire life. Maybe the worst sex scene I've ever read in my entire life. It was awkward. It was worded weird. The use of like metaphors was bad. And just all in all, the book was I wasn't very interested in it, and I love this author, so I think that says a lot. Read it out loud? Listen, I did when we actually reviewed it. I'll find it again. It was awful. We might have even made it a quote, which we can't pull up on this as you know. Rory, do you want up or down? It was so bad. Hold on. I'm gonna look it up. After I go through all of these, we're gonna read it. But 100,000 Kingdoms. Sex scene. Dumb bed sex scene. Oh my god. Please tell me somebody actually put it in there. We're gonna see. Somebody posted about it on Reddit. So we're gonna come back to that. It was so bad. The Dark Tide was really interesting, and I really wanted to like it more than I did, because the entire book, the whole thing from the start, I was sure that this was just a fan fiction. I think somebody took a fan fiction, just like 50 Shades of Grey. They took a fan fiction, they changed the character names, and they plopped it on a bookshelf. The whole time it reads like a fan fiction. It's really interesting. Like the characters, if they would have just like delved into them a little bit more, like they seem like really interesting characters. The story, again, if they would have actually delved into the story a little bit more, it would have seemed really interesting. There's like a really long drawn out period where like not much happens. And then like the book ends in like 5 pages, like climax and you're done. Like no aftercare. Damn, it was over. And I was like, what? And I think this book needed like 300 more pages and also an editor, because I was shocked. I wanted to like this book. It was really cool. Again, the premise is very interesting. It's like this little island where there's non-magical people and then there's witches, and the witches live in a special castle that's never really explained. And the people live on the island. They have to use fancy magical boats to get around because the island is flooding. The witches every year have to sacrifice a boy. Why a boy? Never explained. They have to sacrifice a boy to like drown him. They chain him to a pillar and drown him to prevent the water from rising and drowning the whole city. Except this year, the sacrifice is a girl. Lesbians, we love it. I wanted to love it so much. They don't go into the like sapphic relationship too much, which is fine, even though like it's a romance plot, so they should have. They don't go into the sapphic relationship too much. They don't go into like the why anything's happening. You don't understand what's going on and why it's happening. And then again, like the final battle happens and it's literally like a page and a half. That's it. And then they're like, all right, the end. Like they didn't tie up any loose strings, nothing. The Dark Tide, guys. That was The Dark Tide. Turtles All the Way Down. One of my favorite books of all time. Don't read this book if you are feeling rough. Don't do it. Femi, hello. Turtles All the Way Down is It's sort of a detective novel. So I say I hate detective novels, but it's like, it's not actually a detective novel. It's really a book talking about like mental health and particularly OCD. I almost said ODHD. Particularly OCD, and how that affects you, your life, everyone around you. And it's a really interesting book and a really interesting perspective. John Green himself suffers from OCD, and so he really has, he puts, you can tell he puts a lot of himself into this book. I cry every time I read it. I've read this book probably 5 times and I've cried every single time. I read it, I think, literally in like 2 or 3 days the first time. And again, as an adult, I don't read books that fast. So when I do read a book that fast, it's wild. Yes, recap. So that's all the books that we've read this year. And then A Darker Shade of Magic, which is what we're reading now. I am going to move this into I'm going to move it nowhere. Apparently, there we go. We read it. Bam. So hold on. Yeah, let me see. Ugh. I want to find this quote. It's so bad. And the sex scenes in her other books are so good. I can't find it. Sex scene quote. I can't find it, I guess. God, I wish. That one, right? I know I have it somewhere. Acorn. I wish I could even remember it myself. It was just so bad. Legitimately one of the worst sex scenes I've ever read. Again, I love N.K. Jemisin. If you want to read the Broken Earth trilogy, it's so good. And it also has, they're not like that sex scenes. They're not. It has sexual content, I guess is what I say. They're not really sex scenes in my opinion. But they're more well written and it's just a good story. Whereas 100,000 Kingdoms was not. And I was disappointed by that, not gonna lie. I'm gonna send you a quote of it. As soon as I find it, Acorn, I'm gonna send it to you. All right. So now we dive into A Darker Shade of Magic, which was this month's book. So this is what wrapping up 2022. This is our 9th book. This book, again, I honestly wasn't excited to read this book. I don't know why. Just looking at it, I got weird vibes. I'm glad that I sucked it up and I still read it, because I also think I was just in one of those moods, right? Like, again, we chose this book on November 14th. That was the last book club. I didn't start reading it until last Tuesday, December 13th is when I started reading this book. I finished it in 6 days. I really enjoyed this book. So in this book, to give you this is going to have spoilers in it, by the way. So if you don't want spoilers, mute. In this book, there are 4 worlds. And every world, for whatever reason, it's like what aligns them all together. Every world has a London. They don't all have like a Washington, D.C. They don't all have a Paris, but they all have a London. And it is all a capital of that same island nation. That island nation has different names and also expands different amounts of space, but there's always a London. And so in this book, as you can kind of see in this, there is a red London, which is where our protagonist comes from, a gray London, which is where our secondary protagonist comes from, a white London, which is where our antagonists come from, and a black London, which has been basically destroyed. Black London has been destroyed. So the premise of this book is that each world, red, white, gray, black, has a different amount of magic in it. And that's sort of because a long, long time ago, Black London, the magic started overtaking the people. So basically magic has a consciousness in this world, and it's like its own living thing, sort of. More like a parasite than anything, because it has to have human life in order to live. The magic does. So in Black London, the magic was overtaking the people, and people were dying because they were overrun with magic. The magic was literally like burning through people from the inside out. In order to stop this from happening in all four worlds, Red London, for whatever reason, took it on itself to close itself off from the rest of the worlds. So all of the worlds were connected. Think like Kingdom Hearts, right? All of the worlds were connected by like doors, by keyholes, right? And so anybody could pass through the keyholes freely as they wanted, going between the worlds, trading, visiting, stuff like that. This happened in Black London. Red London was like, oh, we're sealing our door. Because of that, the other Londons also had to seal their doors, because there was like nothing could flow freely anymore. It would come into those worlds and then stop. So everybody sealed their doors. Black London was left to just die. R.I.P. I found the quote in our DMs and resent it to you. Oh my God, I'm so excited. Hold on. Let me get off of this. Oh, I will show this to Acorn. This isn't the full quote, but this is, the whole thing is bad. But this is like the part that it's kind of funny. So, you know, on Goodreads, like people can ask questions. So would this be inappropriate for a high reading level 6th grader? Spoiler alert. No, literally until this scene. Yeah, it's fine. Until this scene. Perfectly. No, this scene ruins it all for everyone. Everyone. It's not a good book, but a 6th grader could read it. Only if you want a 6th grader reading about a phallic shape that only gods possess. Because no penis could fill her like this. He got a big old dick. Yeah. 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 Uh-huh. 100,000 Kingdoms, everybody. Luckily, A Darker Shade of Magic does not have that problem. I can't believe it. You believe it's not penis? Can somebody make that packaging, please? Real ticket, Jason. I didn't even see that. I can't believe it's not penis. Like, I almost just typed, I can't believe it's not penis. Can't believe it's not butter. Like the packaging, right? You know what it looks like. Except this circle behind it, instead of whatever the fuck this is, just make it a dick. Y'all can't even see it. I'm sorry. Hold on. Like, yeah. Anyway, 100,000 Kingdoms. I can't recommend it. I can't. Don't read it. I'm gonna find the full scene for you, Acorn. Don't worry. But that's the gist of it. That's really all you need to know. What was I talking about? I don't remember. Hold on, I have notes. I'm pulling up my notes. The Londons and Black London being left. Oh, right. Black London being left to die. Okay. Perfect. Black London being left to die. So, in come our protagonist, whose name is Kel. That was the first thing I read about that book. That was the first thing you read about that book. Also, BX going to clean up dinner and make some hot chocolate. Fuck yeah! Oh, I want some hot chocolate. Instead, I have this mediocre beer that I'm still gonna drink. So Black London has been closed off. We're now, I think, they never really say how long, but I'm assuming hundreds of years in the future. White London is sealed off from Red London is sealed off from Gray London. They're all their separate worlds. White and Red rather, know about each other because their magic survived. The magic in White London and Red London survived. The magic in Gray London has basically vanished. Gray London is our London. That is our world. This book certainly takes place more in the past. It seems like in our London, at least, just because of like how they describe like who the character, like how the characters dress and how they act. Maybe not like too far in the past, but definitely in the past. Like, I think like maybe like late 1800s, early 1900s. Our main character, Kel, is from Red London. And he is what is called an Antari. And in this universe, or in any universe, I guess, not a period piece, right? Barely. BRB heading to the PC, nice. Kel is... He's obviously, he can use magic. His type of magic is special. So Antari are the only ones who can still travel between worlds. And so they are used by the rulers of each London, by the king and queen of each London, to deliver messages. You know what? I now have a fourth problem. That I just realized. Yeah, the book's getting 4 stars. So we see him first. He's traveling to Gray London. He's talking to what we see as a dying king. The king in Gray London is an old man. He's dying. Now I want to look up who it potentially could be. Maybe it's also in the future and time's fucked, right? For some reason, the prince, like the king is not abdicated. The prince is acting as the ruler, but the king is still the ruler. He gives a letter to the king. It's not a real letter. It's a fake letter to just make the king feel better about himself. Whatever. Very sweet. And then he gets a real letter from the Prince of Gray London. We never talk about them ever again, which I just realized. I honestly forgot about them until this moment. We never talk about the rulers of Gray London ever again, or how any of this affects them. But okay, I guess it doesn't matter that much. Fuck Gray London, am I right? So we find out that Kel has a little bit of a problem. He likes to smuggle things from the other Londons back to Red London, which is against the law. You are not allowed to pass things between worlds since the worlds have been sealed off. He asks people for like weird little trinkets, like music boxes and chess pieces, things like that. And he gives them things from Red London. He gives them magical things. But since in Gray London, especially since they don't have magic, they can't use them, which is fine. It's not fine. It's never really made clear what he gives to the people in White London because they do use magic. But basically in each London, there's a bar in the same exact place. The rest of the cities are not exactly the same, but there's a bar always, just like there's for whatever reason in London, there's always a bar in the same exact place. The bar has a different name, but it's always in the same place. And that's where he does these exchanges. His brother, the Prince of Red London, finds out that he's doing this and he's upset and he asks him to stop. He kind of acts like he's going to stop. You're not really sure. Then he leaves the bar in White London one day. And somebody's like, can you please take this? I have family in your London, but I obviously can't see them. We found out about each other, never explained, which is part of the problem. I just need you to take this to him. Well, he takes it back to his world, and it is a broken magical stone from Black London, which is obviously bad. So people come looking for him to get this stone. He runs to Gray London because no one can really follow him there. And there's not magic. So I guess he's hoping that the magic will just die out, much like it did in the original Black London. Unsure. He runs into our other character, Delilah. I was calling her Leela until they named her Delilah, and I was like, oh. runs into Lila. She's from Grey London. She wants to be a pirate, ? That's why I think that the time period is when it is. Like 1800s. She wants to be a pirate. She also fights with a sword and a pistol, you know, things like that. She steals the black stone. Oh yeah, she's a pickpocket. She robs people. She steals the black stone from Kel. Shit happens. People in Grey London get possessed by the stone, but they don't have any magic in them, so they burn up and die very quickly. Lila has the stone. Kel has to take her back with him to White London, and that's when all shit goes crazy. Somebody gets infected by the stone. They start literally like, so they... It's kind of funny when you say it. It's a really interesting premise, but so the stone infects people through their blood or other ways, bodily fluids, basically. So sometimes it like stabs somebody and goes in through the wound. Sometimes it just makes out with somebody. I'm assuming it also fucks people when it, not the stone, but when it's possessing somebody. So if the stone has possessed somebody, essentially it's an STD, right? When the stone has possessed somebody, that's how they spread it, like a disease. So people start getting infected in Red London and shit's going down. Like they're infecting everybody. It eventually gets into the palace guard. Bad. And we see one of the palace guard kill his partner, who's like his best friend, very sad because he's possessed, and then go to the palace. So we know he's gonna kill. Well, then we find out that the prince was given a fancy necklace from somebody from another London. And it was actually a spell so they could control him. And so the queen of White London, bad people, we'll get into that. The queen of White London is controlling the prince. She tries to kill him. So because the queen of White London wants to be the queen of everywhere. They want to take over all the Londons. They want to reopen the doors. They want mass chaos. And they just want to control everything. They want to be big old dictators of the world. The queen and the king, which are brothers, sisters, siblings of White London. She tries to kill the prince of Red London. The guard is going to kill the king and queen of Red London. It's all blamed on our guy, Kel. So he's running, trying to fix shit. There's a big battle. The prince almost dies. Kel binds themselves. So if one of them dies, the other dies. To the prince. And then the big battle happens. We kill the queen and king of White London. The world is saved. I came back to running trying to fix shit. Are you describing me? Oh no. Describe me the protagonist. So this is where I'm going to get into one of my problems. So in this world, it's a really good book and I highly recommend y'all read it. Even though I'm talking you through it right now, I'm not doing a very good job. It's a really good book. Is this a Frodo protag or a Yuri protag? This is a nice, I don't have any feelings about this protag. He's right in the middle on the scale of glow, right? He's right in the middle. I don't hate him. I don't want him to die because he's not written as like this like flawless, perfect person who just whines about every little trial and tribulation. But he's also not like a Yuri where he's very like aware and his flaws are, what's the word I'm looking for? Like his flaws don't make me like him more. And his acceptance of his flaws don't make me like him more. Yeah, so he's in the middle, which doesn't happen very often. We're usually on the hated, really. We're usually over here, where I fucking hate them. And then occasionally we like them. And then even rarer, it's just, there you are. He's a there you are. So one thing they do in this book, so he's an Antari, which is this special, basically species of magical human who, Rory says, yes, special. I'm special. They're a special type of magical human. They're the only ones who can travel between worlds. They do not know how Antari come to be. It is not inherited. It's not a familial trait. And it's not like a spell or anything. People are just born as Antari randomly. They don't know why. The way that you identify Antari is one of their eyes, sclera and all, is just full on black. It is just a black eye. Their other eye is completely normal. Eye white, iris, pupil. The other one is black. in this story, as far as we know, there are only 2 Antari. There's the Red London Antari, who is our good friend Kel. And there is the White London Antari, whose name is Holland. Kel is written, he's basically been adopted by the king and queen of Red London. Of course, he doesn't see it that way. He says, I'm just a tool. Nobody really loves me. Which is, again, one of his flaws. And he accepts that and he acknowledges it towards the end of the book. But again, it's not enough for me to make him like it. Like, make me like him. So he considers the prince his brother, but he does not consider the king and queen his parents, even though it's basically insinuated that they do treat him as their own child, until they think that he murdered their other child, which fair. So he has that whole thing going on. He's like, I'm not really your son. I'm just a tool. Man. Do you want up or down, sir? Which is annoying, but it's not, he doesn't whine about it enough for me to make him hate him, is the thing. That's why I don't care, I think. Because it's brought up once and then it sort of resolves towards the end. Then there's Holland, the other Antari, who is the White London Antari, and complete opposite relationship here. So in White London, to become king and queen, it is not an heir sort of thing. It is not like, I am queen, so you are my child, you are going to become queen next. It is a fight to the death. And so the current king and queen have not been king and queen long. It is a brother and a sister, Astrid and Athos. And they have put a strong, I think, illegal spell on the other Antari, Holland, to make him obey them. So he is a tool. And it's very sad. And so he literally does not have free will. He has to do whatever they say. And in certain parts in the book, you can tell like he's trying to fight it, but he can't. He apparently, it's insinuated, alluded to, whatever. He was also fighting for the crown. So it's not like he's innocent in all of this. Like, he killed people trying to gain power. He couldn't kill the twins. And so now they control him. It's really interesting. It's really upsetting. There is no Antari in Grey London because there's not enough magic, right? Welcome back. So when Kel brings this black stone back to Red London, he talks about how one side is jagged and one side is very smooth, you know, rocks. Well, then Holland, the other Antari, confronts him and says, you have to give me the stone. And he's like, no, I'm not doing that. And he's like, no, you have to. They fight. It's very dramatic. Holland reveals, no, Holland doesn't reveal that. He kills Holland. He fucks him up real bad with Delilah's help. Like, rams a steel rod through him. Very upsetting. Then we go to the palace. That's when we find out that our good friend slash brother, the prince, Rai, is possessed by the evil queen. She tries to kill, she's not even trying to kill Kel. She's just messing with him. He realizes what's going on. He realizes basically immediately that it's her when she said something that his brother wouldn't normally say. Instead of threatening to kill him, she threatens to kill the prince, Rai, his brother. She succeeds. She stabs him through the lungs, the stomach, whatever. And it's very traumatic. Somehow they get, I don't even remember how because it's very dramatic, but they get away. They get the prince's body. The queen is no longer inside of him because obviously it was dying. That vessel was dying. So she moved to another vessel. They take him to a safe place. That's where Kel binds his life to his. They still have the stone. When Kel uses the magic of the stone to bind his life to his brother's, the stone like enters him. Like, he can't let go of the stone. It has entered him. It's like connected to him now. Gross. Astrid, the queen, is the one who let us know that it's only half of the stone. Her brother has the other half. Very dramatic. Not the entering, right? Not a fan. So they they drop the prince off at basically what I can only imagine is like a monastery, right? Like it's where they teach people magic, but also there's like these monk type dudes. One of the monk type dudes is who taught Kel magic. And while we're there, there is this brief scene where Kel's mentor asks Lila why she has a glass eye. Nobody has mentioned it. This is almost at the end of the book. This is literally in the last 2 chapters of the book. Asks Lila why she has a glass eye. Remember, she's from Grey London, no magic, but everybody says something about sensing magic in her or something in her. They never say magic, but they sense something in her. Then he asks her why she has a glass eye. Never mentioned again. That is honestly my biggest complaint about this whole book. And I have theories, and we'll get to those. We go to White London. We take Holland's dead body with us so he can die in his home. We fight. Kel goes to fight the king. Astrid's body is still in White London. Even though she's possessing people in Red London, her body is still in White London. Lila, I forgot her name for a second. Lila goes to kill the queen. Kel goes to fight the king. Well, the queen is protected by a special spell. Lila tries to shoot her. It ricochets and it actually shoots her, but she's fine. Not Chekhov's glass eye. Listen, not the entering Chris. Yeah, it's fucked up. It's a really good book. Highly recommend. Again, I am not doing it justice. I'm just trying my best to like give you like a recap of understanding so I can discuss with you like the things that I think. Lila goes to kill the queen. She injures herself. The queen wakes up. There's this big old battle. It's very dramatic. The queen captures Lila and then uses a spell to make her look like Lila. This is happening in one end of the castle. On the other end of the castle, at the exact same time, Kel and the king are fighting. The king is fucking him up. Like, he really is. Like, he's using his half of the stone freely. It is not affecting him like it does Kel. Like, again, it's entered Kel. It is not doing that to the king. We don't really know what's going on. Hi, Bree! Welcome in, welcome in. What am I doing? Meh. So I'm not following anything, so I'll probably have a good time reading it. Yeah, it's honestly hard to follow just speaking it. It's fucking wild. Bree, how are you? I love your name, Crystal Flame. So we're fighting the king. Again, he's using the magic from the stone and it's not fucking up. Look at this Kel. Kel's really weak because the stone is draining him. Shit's going down. The king summons a giant, what I can only imagine as a basilisk, a la the Chamber of Secrets. So this battle's been going on for pages. There's swords, there's throwing people in the air with magic, there's hitting walls. It's a very dramatic battle, and it spans quite a few pages. It's a really interesting battle. And then he uses magic to summon this giant basilisk. I call it a serpent, so I guess I'll just say serpent. This giant serpent, and it's looking at Kel, and it's obviously, so the king has summoned it, it's going to kill Kel. Somehow, using the black stone that is, again, part of him now, Kel has gained control of the serpent. In 2 paragraphs, not even, he uses... Oh, Bree, thank you for subscribing! Welcome, welcome, appreciate you. Thanks. He uses the magic from the stone to take control of the serpent, and the serpent just eats the king. He just kills him. We have this multi-page long battle happening that's very intense. And then literally it's over in a paragraph. And it just ended so fast. And then Kel again uses the stone and he cancels the serpent and it's gone. And the king is dead. This is my second complaint. So first complaint, First complaint, the king from Grey London that we never hear about ever again. Fuck him, I guess. Second complaint, Lila's glass eye, which is never ever brought up again. Third complaint, this really well-written battle. Really well-written battle that just goes out like you fucking blew out a candle. He's going, and he's dead. It's really interesting after this though. So Kel finishes killing the king. Lila's come. Hello, camera. Can you see me? There we go. Lila comes and it's like, oh my God, Kel, are you okay? And then is telling Kel to drop the stone. Again, somehow the stone is disconnected from him, not really explained. It's not like in his body again. I guess he used enough of the stone, whatever. She's telling him to drop the stone, give me the stone. She says, please. Kel grabs his sword and he stabs Lila. As soon as he does it, because it's a magical sword, it reveals that it's actually the queen, and the magical sword destroys her. Basically from the inside out, it turns her into stone. This is really interesting. Rip King, right? Rip everybody. He then uses his magic to, just in case, he uses his magic to destroy, like it turns her into a statue. He crushes the statue. He wants to make sure this bitch is dead. Then he finds the real Lila. The drama, it's again, these twists, man. It was very exciting. So Kel is weak, but he's fine. Lila is there, and they somehow they fuse the stones back together, and then we have this scene, which is a really interesting scene in the book, where Kel's basically unconscious. He's inside of his mind. It's him. Think like Edward Elric and the truth, right? It's him and the magic, and the magic is trying to take over and keep him, right? Not the mind's eye, yeah. And Kel is trying to keep control. And it's this whole big ordeal. It's this whole like internal struggle. And again, it's really well written. This whole book is really well written. And eventually Kel realizes, he's like, I'm just going to dispel the magic, talking about this being that's inside of him, this living magic, because we've already established that the magic is living. He's going to dispel this living magic. So he keeps trying to say, in his mind's eye, he's trying to use the magic words for dispel, but it's not working. And he realizes, I actually have to say it. I have to wake up and say it, but while still being here by parasite. Exactly. And so he eventually is able to make himself say it in real life, not just in his head. And it just, again, really well written scene. The magic kind of just like disintegrates and it's gone. It's not only gone from inside of him, the stone is no longer magical. The stone still exists, but it no longer has any magic. So it's safe, in theory. Am I the parasite? Oh no, imagine. This whole time, what Kel's plan was to do was to take the Black Stone with him to Black London and stay there. He didn't know what was going to happen to him once he got to Black London, but he knew he couldn't return to any other London. So he was basically going to die. That was his mission. Just a regular stone in you. It's not in him anymore. It's not in him anymore. It's its own thing now. It's separate. You don't want to rock. You don't want something rock hard. No, I'm kidding. No, I'm not saying that. I'm sorry, Sammy. Oh! Sorry, I just broke my I didn't break my chair. I pulled a piece off my chair. Oh, there we go. Thank you for subscribing, Bree. I don't know why the alerts and shit are so slow on YouTube. Straight to jail. Straight to horny jail. So the stone is no longer inside of him, no worries. But he still thinks, just to be safe, that he still needs to take the stone to Black London. Which is kind of scary, because again, he knows if he goes there, that's where he's going to die, right? But then he comes up with an idea, and it's honestly like, it's a horrible idea, but it's a smart one. So Holland, the other Antari, is still clinging on to life. We thought he was dead. He's not. The more I think about this, the more fucked up it is. But again, it's really well written. Holland's there basically bleeding out on the floor. The only people who can travel through worlds is Antari. Using Holland's blood, Kel makes a door. By the way, I didn't mention that. That's how they make the doors, is using their blood. Using Holland's blood, Kel makes a door to Black London underneath Holland. He puts the stone on him and they fall into Black London. Holland and the stone. Kel is fine. Fucked up. So IDK, if using the message, yeah, but Acorn is still here. YouTube is not letting them chat. Why? You're obviously chatting. Is Bree chatting too? What's happening? Hero, is that you? Oh my God, shut up. I even have, hold on, I'm gonna refresh my chat. We're going to have a conversation about this very soon. Yeah, no, I can't see you at all. And I have it on live chat. I made sure. I even just switched to top chat to see if you would show up, but you didn't. I switched it back to live chat and there's still no Acorn. I'm so sorry, Acorn. Sammy, can you see Acorn? God damn it, YouTube. Rory, hush. So, you can't see Acorn either. What the fuck? Again, we'll get to this. So we're at the end of the book. Kel's alive, Lila's alive. They return to Red London. Remember, it said that only Antari can travel between worlds. It's alluded earlier in the novel that the reason that Lila was allowed to travel with Kel from Grey London in the first place was because of the stone. The stone's magic was powerful enough to pull anybody with it. There's no more stone, but Lila still is able to travel with Kel. They get back. They are immediately captured because everybody thinks they've killed the prince. They go to the king and queen. Kel explains exactly what happened. He's like, hey, I broke the law. I tried to bring shit back. I brought some shit back. I brought my shit back. I brought bad shit back. I'm the one who caused all this shit. People are dead because of me. They forgive him for some reason. Rai is alive. He's only alive because Kel's alive. Everything's fine. Lila decides to stay in Red London, even though Kel says he could try to send her back to her London. She's like, why the fuck would I want to go back there? She decides to stay in Red London. They say, hey, you have something in you. He gives her one of their fancy little like magic toys. He's like, try the magic toy. Maybe you have magic in you. And that's really, oh yeah. And then they kiss for no goddamn reason. One of my biggest pet peeves. There's like, obviously there's like tension there, but there's no like romance, right? This is not a romance novel. There's no build up in romance. And then there's a kiss. It's not a big kiss. It's just a brush of lips. I still hate it. There's no reason. It's stupid. It wouldn't have happened in real life. If I just almost fucking died, I'm not gonna look at this person who almost died with me and kiss them. No. I hate unnecessary romance in novels. I don't know why it's there. It didn't, not even unnecessary, but like unexplained romance. More realistic if they just bonked. Like, nowhere in the book did it even allude that like, oh, they were romantically interested in each other. Kel kissed Lila. Lila was like, huh? That's all it was. It was nothing more after that. Stupid. That was the fourth thing that I hated. Those are the 4 reasons that this is not a 5-star book to me. So, the eye is a stone. I don't think the eye is a stone, Sammy. Here's what I think. So again, Antari are the only ones who can travel through worlds. Antari have a black eye. I do think the black eye it's the amount of, I think black is representative of like how much magic, right? I think black represents a lot of magic. That's what I took from the book. There was too much magic in Black London. That's why it burned up and died. They have a lot of magic in them in Antari. That's why their eye is black. That's what I'm assuming. I think Lila was born in Grey London as an Antari. I think she had a black eye. People in Grey London were like, what the fuck, demon? And so they cut her eye out and gave her a glass eye. That is what I think. Again, it is never brought up again in the book. I'm checking to see. Did you refresh? I did refresh. I still can't see you, Acorn. I'm sorry. I see Bree though. I see Boo YouTube. I don't know what's happening. Can you check your email? Can you see if you need to verify your account? Hold on, I have to show everybody this. I'm sure you saw it, but Sammy just sent me this screen cap of Rory. What a cutie. Wow. Anyway. Acorn, I'm sorry. So yeah, that is my theory about Lila and her glass eye. Again, it's mentioned by one character one time and we never hear about it again. He says, why do you have a glass eye? And she's like, don't tell anyone. What? Mother, what did that say is to me? Acorn! I see you! He's still staring. Yeah, look at him. I see you, Acorn. I see the new Acorn. Again, this was a really interesting book. And again, almost all of these things, the 3 of the 4 things that I don't like, and even like the last thing that I realized, it all happens at the end of the book. I guess I just didn't like that other account. I guess not. It was working fine at first. I don't know. These screen caps, Sammy, they're so good. But so the eye thing is the biggest problem for me. I think, hold on, let me pull this back up. Let me open. So Shades of Magic #1. So were there more than one? Is there more? Is this a series? Because maybe. Oh. Okay. It is a series. There is more. So maybe my question is answered. This is definitely Lila on the cover of this book. This is how Lila, look at her, she's a pirate. I don't know why she wants to be a pirate so bad. So maybe more of it is explained. And then a Conjuring of Light, that's very interesting. I do like a darker shade of magic because it's Black London. And then I really like the visual. Honestly, I think this is just a designer error and I would have probably made this a gray instead of a black, but I guess it's because of just in terms of the story. But visually it looks nice with the black. But so this is Kel, his main cloak. He has a special cloak that he can turn into multiple different cloaks. Literally, he turns it inside out and it's a different cloak, right? Book 2, Hues of Magic. Can you imagine? The color of magic. It's basically what it is. Really interesting cloak. And I like the visual. So these are actual maps of London. If you look up a map of London, that is what this is. And I think that's really interesting. They use them. You can't really see throughout the cover design, on the back, there's the gray London. No white London because that would be hard, I guess. I really like that visual and the book design's really cool. But again, there's a lot of open ends. And I honestly, even just how this book ended, I wouldn't have known there was more books. I would have had no idea. There wasn't even anything at the end that's catch the next bit in this book. Darkest shade of magic, right? I do want to read these other books. The next 2 have even higher reviews. I feel like that's very, very rare. So I think that Lila is an Antari. That's why she can travel. I think her eye was cut out. That's why she has a glass eye. I think the Grey London Prince is bad somehow. So the king, or whoever the ruler is, king or queen or prince, is allowed to know about the Antari. Only the king. So Queen Elizabeth would have known about the Antari. She would have been in contact, and now King Charles, I guess, would be in contact with the Antari. They pass notes back and forth through the Antari, but only the king and queen, only the rulers. The prince is filling in Grey London. He doesn't seem to care about his dying father. He even kind of talks down about him. I feel like maybe the twins from White London somehow got to him. Holland sent him a message and he's trying to get magic or something. I just have a bad feeling about him. These are my thoughts. Again, the kiss is unnecessary. I hated it. And then the battle, again, this really well-written fight scene. Really well written, really enticing. I was like on the edge of my seat reading it, and then like a snake pops up and kills him and it's over. And I was just, I was shocked that it was that fast, that it ended so quickly when it was like really drawn out. So I don't know. I'm trying to make sure that, sorry. I was trying to make sure that Acorn wasn't trapped again. I just saw that I had a notification on Discord. It's just talking about Echo. So there is a sequel and a trilogy, in fact. So Gathering of Shadows, really interesting. Again, I really like the cover design. That's clearly Lila. I'm going to read this because I kind of want to know what's going on. It's been 4 months since a mysterious obsidian stone fell into Kel's possession, 4 months since his path crossed with Delilah Bard, 4 months since Prince Rai was wounded, and since the nefarious Dane twins of White London fell, and 4 months since the stone was cast with Holland's dying body through the rift back into Black London. Now, restless after having given up his smuggling habit, Kel is visited by dreams of ominous magical events, waking only to think of Lila, who disappeared from the docks as she always meant to do. We're bringing back the romance for no reason. As Red London finalizes preparations for the Element Games, an extravagant international competitions of magic meant to entertain and keep healthy the ties between neighboring countries, a certain pirate ship draws closer, carrying old friends back into port. Friends, plural, interesting. While Red London is caught up in the pageantry and thrills of the games, another London is coming back to life. Grey London. After all, a shadow that was gone in the night will reappear in the morning. Not Grey London, Black London? That the balance of magic is ever perilous, and for one city to flourish, another London must fall. Interesting. A Gathering of Shadows. I think Black London is going to come back because Holland is there. Interesting. Very interesting. Again, I really enjoyed this book. It's a really good read. If you still want to read it after I've talked about it today, I gave it 4 stars. It had 5 stars until the last 2 chapters. Very good book. A Darkest Shade of Magic. Highly recommend. I really enjoyed it. I read this in 6 days. I picked this up from the library last Tuesday night and I finished it today. That's really fast for me. I haven't read a book that fast in a long time. A long time. It's 400 pages. It's 398 pages, if we're being exact. It is a really good book. Highly recommend. I'm very excited. If anybody else wants to read it, I'm very excited for the other 2 books in this series too. I am going to read them. I should actually add those to my to-read list. Want to read list. There we go. And next up, we have The Wheel of Fate. Let me zoom in a little. So this is the wheel. These are all of the books that are currently in our group. By the way, guys, book club is not normally just me talking to myself, I promise. I think I was the only one who finished this book, which is completely fine. I'm the only one who finished this book this month, so that's why this was kind of me giving you a recap instead of us having an actual discussion. Book club is usually a discussion where we chat about like how we felt about the book, if there's anything that really stood out to us in the book, stuff like that. Kind of hard to have a discussion like that by myself, so that's why I was just kind of giving you guys a recap of the book and then also telling you like my thoughts about particular moments. So that's why this one went this way. But I appreciate you guys for being here. I appreciate everybody for being in book club. And I know that not everybody has time to do book club every month. I don't even have time to do book club every month. So that's why I didn't finish Gideon, even though I loved that book. I'll finish it one day. I wish I did. This was fun though. I'm glad. Thanks, friends. So we have, if you want to participate in book club, the link to the Goodreads group is in the description. You just have to request to join and I can approve you. We have our list here. Anybody in book club can add books to the list. Oh yeah, so these are all of them. Makes me want to read this one. You should, please. It's so good. It's a page turner. It's a good one. I didn't do a good job of recapping it. A lot more happens that I just don't have time. Go Cubs. I Vivek. It's a really good book. Again, there's 4 things that I didn't like about this book, and that's the only reason it didn't get 5 stars. I'm giving it 4.5 stars, maybe like 4.4 stars, but I can only give it 4 stars on Goodreads because they don't do half stars. He's laughing. Obviously that was him. I have to borrow it from you. It's from the library. I have to return it. You can borrow it from the library though. This is one of the books that I had to go pick up. Love the library. So we're gonna spin the wheel. So normally book club is the first Monday of the month. A couple of things going on. First, I am going to, and I need to discuss this in the Discord with everybody. He says hello back. Hi. I need to discuss this with everybody who's also in book club. I would like to move book clubs to the first Sunday of the month and have them Sunday night instead of Monday nights. There was a reason. All right, because so I stream Mondays and Wednesdays, and I want to be able to play through more games, and actually play through games and get through them, right? Which is hard when all of my days are taken up by random things. So that's why I want to move book club to Sunday night. If everybody still wants to stream it, we can do that stream just once a month, right? Which is no problem. If you don't want to stream, that's also fine. I'm going to leave that up to the people actually in book club. With that, this book club meeting is obviously late. Again, we normally meet the first Monday of the month. It is the third Monday of the month. Normally this spin would be for December's book. It is December 19th. I'm not reading another book this year. And if I am, it's going to be the sequel to A Darker Shade of Magic. So it's not going to be a book club book. Actually, it's going to be the Game of Thrones book that I have sitting on my mini fridge. So this is going to be January's book. So if you want to participate in book club, the next meeting is going to be February, the first Sunday in February. Everything's going to be in the Discord. I'm going to be better about updating the dates and everything, but this is going to be January's book for us to discuss in February. So let's see what we get, my friends. Let it snow. Very fun. Oop, too late. Sammy, cannot. What? Why can we're having a discussion about this next? What the fuck? Sammy can no longer tell. She wants to know if she should hop in for the wheel set. I'm sorry, Sammy. I don't know what is going on. Well, the wheel has been spun. Our next book is going to be Let It Snow. Let It Snow is a compilation of short stories, I'm pretty sure, by John Green and quite a few other authors. She didn't add it in any discussion thereafter. I don't think I'm going to do any discussion on the book. So I don't think you need to hop in. I can, hold on. I'm gonna move my Discord over here. If anybody wants to also put their chats into Discord messages, I'll check them there. I'm so sorry. I hate that this is happening. Rip, right? How fucking annoying. Anyway, this is making things much easier to decide, which Acorn already knows. Anyway, So, John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. A Christmas Eve Snowstorm. Oh, it's not short stories. It is short stories. It is short stories. Okay, so it's short stories. I think this is going to be fun to read in January, right? In the winter. A Christmas Eve snowstorm transforms one small town into a romantic haven, and the kind you see only in movies. Well, kind of. After all, a cold, wet hike from a stranded train through the middle of nowhere would not normally end with a delicious kiss, ew, from a charming stranger. And no one would think that a trip to the Waffle House, fucking love Waffle House, through 4 feet of snow would lead to love with an old friend. I'm not going to keep reading these. Thanks to 3 of today's best-selling teen authors, the magic of the holidays shines on these hilarious and charming interconnected tales of love, romance, and breathtaking kisses. Cute, right? Cute. So this is going to be January's book. A winter book. Well, the winter. It's technically a holiday book. Wouldn't have been great if this had been our December book. Oh, well. Will be a nice winter read. Exactly, Sammy. Exactly. See, this is working out fine. I just have to have chat open in 5 different places. So, a nice one to read for us all. Let it snow. Let me go ahead and add this to our shelf in Goodreads. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. YouTube nerfed us, right? Why are you nerfing me, YouTube? Damn. So this is going to be our currently reading. If it will let me click it, there we go. I'm very excited. And I will update everything in the book club channel on Discord. I promise. I'm actually going, whoops, wrong button. I'm actually going to update it this month. So this brings us to, can't wait to find my Kindle. Fuck yeah. Do you have it on your Kindle already? It's somewhere. Oh my gosh. Did you misplace it in the move? Oh, you don't? Okay. Oh yeah, let me see how much this is. $10. I'm checking this out from the library too. Damn. I'm cheap. Anyway. So, hold on. I've got to pull my notes back up, guys. This is a different set of notes. So I talked through this a little bit, and by talk through, I mean just word vomited my thoughts into a message to Acorn. I think yesterday. Was that just yesterday? As you guys know, I started streaming on YouTube a couple months ago. I think September. I'm not really sure. Hi, Rory. Do you want to be a part of this conversation? Rory actually is the one who made this decision. So I started streaming on YouTube a couple months ago because there was a lot happening on Twitch that I just didn't agree with. They were making changes and they were making changes that no one asked for, and they weren't making changes that people desperately needed. I started streaming on YouTube. I really liked YouTube when I first started streaming on it. I liked the interface, I liked the interface. I liked that I could set things up and have it like ready before a stream. I still like that my streams are always available. Like if you want to go back and watch a VOD, it's really easy to go back and watch it on my channel. They're live forever, unlike Twitch where they expire. But as today has just exemplified and put a spotlight on, I have been having so many technical difficulties with YouTube that are 100% on YouTube's end. The fact that some of you guys can't chat, or you can chat, but no one can see it, that's very annoying. Sometimes I have to view chat only in a specific window. I have to view chat from my live streaming window, which is so obnoxious. I can't pop it out. I can't view it in any other window. I can't view it in OBS, or it doesn't load. Chat never loads. Just really, really frustrating. And then sometimes my stream is, I'm supposed to have basically like instantaneous stream. Like you guys are supposed to see me like a second after I speak, right? Like it's supposed to be very short of a delay. The delay gets more and more as stream goes on. And sometimes it's like crazy how delayed it is. Because of that, because of all of these reasons, starting in 2023, I am going to start streaming on Twitch again. I'm still going to make YouTube videos, I'm actually going to hopefully make more YouTube videos. I didn't get to make a lot of videos this year. I wanted to. A lot of shit happened and I didn't get to make as many videos as I wanted. I'm hoping to change that in the new year. Lots of things are still changing. Lots of shit's still happening, but I'm kind of like planning things out so I can still keep up with that. Another big reason that I want to make the change back to Twitch is I feel like YouTube, I've lost a lot of like the fun interactivity of streaming. Like you can give Rory treats with channel points on Twitch. You can't do that here. Rory misses his treats. That's actually why we're moving back to Twitch. Rory misses his treats. Look at him. You'll get one right now. You can't make the chicken pop back up on my stream. You can't use your, there's no channel points to redeem games. Those things that I didn't really think about that much when I was making the move. And now that they're gone, of course, isn't that always how it happens? There you go. I miss them so much. And I think that's really what makes that interactivity of like you guys kind of being able to, other than chat, you guys, which isn't even working right now. Rory's like, stop talking and give it to me, right? Like chat is interaction, right? But then there's interactivity. Like you guys actually being able to participate in the stream by picking games, by giving Rory treats, by using funny little sound commands and stuff like that. I really miss that. And I think that's part of what makes streaming so fun for me and for you guys. I'm looking at all of my reasons. We've gone through the tech issues. I literally said most notably chat. As we see, it's never been this bad before. Today it was like, oh, you're leaving us because chat's fucked? We're gonna make chat more fucked. Whatever. Another reason, the moderation tools on YouTube are A, not as clear, and B, really clunky. So there's technically no banning people in YouTube chat. I do want y'all to know that. There is, it's not called timeout. What is it called? Acorn, if I accidentally time you out, I'm sorry. Oh, it says put user in timeout. It is a timeout. So I can put users in timeout or I can hide them. I can't even ban them. I can hide them. So I don't see their messages and you don't see their messages. But you can't ban anybody. Isn't that weird? And also the menu to do that is very slow. It takes so long. Now my whole message turned into an emote. Oh, that was supposed to be an emote. That's funny. Yeah, I like the community aspects, the fact that there's live chat and top chat, right? It just like, I feel like if you have like over a certain amount of average viewers, that makes sense, right? Because that helps, that's less chat coming through to you. It makes it a little bit easier to read. I think it might be kind of like slow mode, right? What I said was, oh, sure, test it out on me, who just got the ability to chat back. Wait, you sent a whole message and it just sent an emote? Oh my God. Anyway, all of these reasons combined are why. Shit, maybe I'll just start streaming on, I don't know. I have to make sure I have things set up. I might just come back to Twitch on Wednesday. Because this is so annoying. I was gonna make it 2023 to make it like a clean slate sort of deal. But these chat issues are, this is, YouTube is mocking me. It really is. This is fucked. Oh my God. If I can get everything set back up, which I don't know if I can, if I can get everything set back up by Wednesday, I will be back Twitch on Wednesday. If not, just keep out, see what my live links are. They're gonna have the right link in them. This is, again, all of these reasons and more, this is why I'm going back to YouTube. Going back to Twitch. I'm not quitting YouTube. I'm quitting YouTube live streaming. If you have any ideas you want for videos, let me know. I can't promise anything, but I'll definitely jot them down as ideas. I want to do more self-care reviews. Those are really fun for me. I have a few games already in the pipeline for me to play through off stream. I'm going to do them off stream. I'm going to do playthroughs and do self-care reviews for certain games. And I have some other stuff that I'm working on too. So that's the plan. I'm going to keep YouTube as a video platform and go back to Twitch as a live streaming platform. the interactivity that Twitch has is just, it's just leagues above what YouTube has to offer right now. And I miss the fun stuff. I'm not gonna lie, I miss that fun shit. I miss getting the shit scared out of me because people use confetti. Thank you, Sammy! I'm so excited to be able to read your messages in chat again. I just can't believe this is happening. Let's see, what's next? Oh, with me going back to Twitch, one thing that I really miss is getting able to play through different games with you guys. And as I mentioned earlier, with wanting to move the book club days, so I only consistently have time to stream Mondays and Wednesdays. That's why I stream on those days. Those are the days that I stream on, Mondays and Wednesdays. Lately, every Wednesday has been Overwatch with the Beer League, and I absolutely love playing with the Beer League. I've already posted this in the Beer League chat, so if you're in there, you know. I am going to be following in Acorn's footsteps, and I am only going to be doing Overwatch every other week. So that is going to that's going to take effect in the new year. So that way I have more time to play other games and actually get through games. I miss playing story games. I miss doing shit like Oxenfree. We never finished The Witcher. I don't really know what happened there. Doki Doki Literature Club. Like, I miss being able to play through games like that, where there's like a start and an end and we go through the journey together. I miss that. We're gonna start that again in the new year. So Mondays are almost always going to be story game or whatever game we're playing at that time. Every other Wednesday will be story game. Except, we are still gonna do community game nights the last Monday of every month. That is not changing. I still wanna do games with you guys. We're still gonna do like games with viewers like that. This month, if anybody wants to join, we might have to do rotations depending on how many people we have. We are doing Fortnite on Monday, next Monday, a week from today. We are playing Fortnite for community game night. My nose itches, but yeah. Lots of shit changing, lots of stuff happening. I want to show y'all how crazy I am. I've been using this new app. It's called ClickUp, and I think it's meant for like, businesses. I am a business. I'm not a business, but I kind of treat myself like one sometimes. So I've been using ClickUp, and so this is how I'm like organizing myself and like getting get shit done. That's why I named it this. Oh yes, game night. Yes, game night. So I have literally every to-do ever in this, and I can separate them into categories, which is what I really like. So I have my personal stuff, I have my art stuff, I have my content management, I have my work stuff, and then I have all of my content stuff. So YouTube videos, live streams, my website, social media, which is only Instagram right now. And I just really like this. I don't think anybody else has as much fun as I do setting up and using productivity tools. I fucking love productivity tools, and this one is great. I still use Notion, for those of you who don't know how crazy I am about productivity tools. I'm using Notion as more like this is more like a notes and capture, right? So this is where I'm putting like ideas and like if I'm keeping log of certain things, and like if I have like a brain dump, right? I'm still using Notion. I love Notion. It's so fun. I am gonna update my homepage. I don't like this design anymore because I'm not really doing my weekly planning in here. I already got rid of most of my planner. Wow, this is behind. So I'm still going to use my Notion. I'm going to change how it looks a little bit, and then I'm not going to have like due dates in Notion. So I'm removing all of that, and that's what I'm using ClickUp for. Again, I really enjoy ClickUp. It's great. If you're looking for a tool to help you get shit done, I recommend it just because you can. Would you wait? It's so cute though, my Notion. Thanks. It's still gonna be cute, don't worry. It's still gonna be cute. I'm just gonna update the way it looks a little bit, and then take some stuff out, put some stuff in. Like I trust, yeah. Dream life. I need to update this, but it's like goals for like fitness, goals for mental, Goals for soul, which I really need to work on. I haven't been doing those. And then goals for earth, which for me is traveling. Obviously we have my South Korea plan. So like I have like everything for me to move like in here. Like this is what I'm going through, you know? Anyway, I'm still using Notion. I love Notion. I highly recommend. It's the reason that I was looking for another tool, and I'm going to do a video on this in the new year, is how once I get my Notion fixed up, I'll do a video on it, kind of like a tutorial of how I'm going to use these two along with Google Calendar to get shit done. Because Notion, again, it's going to be like my note taking, my kind of like what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a catch-all, but because it's where I'm putting like places that I want to go. Like those don't have a due date. Like places I want to visit, there's no due date for those. I want to have a list of all the places that I want to go. The books that I'm reading, the books that I want to read, I want to have a place of all those, like a log of all those. Basically, I guess logs is what I'm using Notion for now moving forward. Because Notion's task lists are very limited in the capacity that I like them, in terms of like recurring tasks and also viewing tasks, like multiple tasks at one time. The reason that I really like ClickUp, which again, I've only been using this for a couple of days and I'm already obsessed with it. I'm going to use it for probably like a full week or month before I actually like make anything on it, because I want to make sure I understand it. But like you can have folders, so like all my content calendars are in here for like my YouTube videos and my live streams and stuff, and they all have the same, like, it's a template, so anything in that folder automatically has the same template. So if for whatever reason I decide that I need a content calendar for Tumblr, I can create one and it's going to have the same template, and I love that. And then also, like, if I only want to view what I have to do for my personal stuff, I can only view personal. Which, of course, because I'm streaming, it's going to be slow. But, like, so I can only view personal if I want. You can add tags to things, which makes it easier to look at. I can view everything at once, which is what I was just showing you guys. I like that. Or I can just see what's due today, which is nice. That's why I really like ClickUp, because it has all of these different views and you can customize the views based on like what you need. And I'm using the free version. I'm only using the free version. I'm not paying money for this, and it's still really like intuitive, and there's lots of different options so I can view it the way that I want to view it. Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored, but I could be. ClickUp. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that, because I came into 2022 with goals, but I didn't come into 2022 with plans, which is funny. I made a video actually about my goals for 2022. I was watching it today because I'm going to make a new video kind of like wrapping up 2022, how those goals went, and then making my goals for 2023. So literally one of the things I mentioned in that video is like, I have these goals, but I'm not really good at planning goals. And so this, I already feel more planned for 2023, and I'm not even done yet. That's why I wanted to show you guys this, because again, I have a lot of stuff that I want to do with book club, with game night, with my stream, with YouTube, with my website. I'm really proud of my website, by the way, guys. I did a complete revamp of it. If you haven't seen it, I'm going to show it to you now. Wow, that's bright. This background's going to change. I just have to get photographs. I am doing art commissions now. So if you know anybody who wants some art, come on over, send them my way. I have quite a few different, what's they're called? Levels, I guess. For art, they're listed here. There's a little form you can fill out, or you can just email me. My email is down here too. And it is what it is. I'm really excited to be working on more art. I'm working on a lot of art right now at the same time, which is not really recommended. I'm working on finishing up my character portrait for D&D. So I'm playing Alora. I already started a character portrait of her. Y'all saw me start that on stream. I am working on a secret composition. I am working on, those don't really have a due date. Laura should be finished before next Thursday. The secret composition doesn't have a due date at all. then I am now working on, Acorn and I are working on the little pink tubers for our D&D group, because that we are going to start streaming that. So I'm working on something else too. Oh, I have a little portrait that I was doing of just like a random person at a beach. So I'm working on all of that. Again, the only ones that really have due dates are the pink tubers and my Allura portrait. And Allura doesn't really have a due date. So again, commissions, if you have anybody who you like, if they need D&D art, if they need a little pink tuber, if they just want a cute little portrait. I love that it zooms in on our tits. Hit me up. Let me know. But yeah, let's see. I think that's everything. We've gone through all of my notes. So, our next book is Let It Snow. Let me go ahead and let me tell you guys the date for that before I forget. The first Sunday, the 5th of February is going to be our next book club day. I will update that in the Discord, along with the book title, Let It Snow, 5th of February. Yes, titties, exactly, Sammy, exactly. And then I will see you guys Wednesday, maybe here, maybe on Twitch. I don't know yet. For Overwatch. I am going to play Overwatch the next 2 weeks in a row, and then starting in January is when it will be every other week. So I think it's going to be 3 weeks in a row, because this week is not D&D week. So, and the next week is D&D week, and then it's not D&D week. So Overwatch is opposite of D&D week. If anybody was confused about that. But yeah, I know I kind of just spouted a lot of information at you today. I told you all about A Darker Shade of Magic. Again, read it. Highly recommend. Very good book. I'm definitely going to get the, literally as soon as I end the stream, I'm going to check to see if the library has the sequel, because I really want to read it. Really good book. Highly recommend. Our next book is Let It Snow. I talked to you guys so much about these books today. Change is coming. Moving to Twitch, moving back to Twitch. Have to make sure I update my channel stuff over there. New website is live. I am accepting commissions and got some really nice YouTube videos coming your way. I've already worked on some stuff, and then I'll be working on more. I am off. I get 11 days off paid. I guess not all 11 are paid, because some of the days are weekend, but I get 11 days straight off from work. For funsies, just for funsies. I didn't take off work. My bosses are just giving us that, and we're still getting paid. So proud of you. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate you. But yeah, I'm planning on getting, I'll be off of work, but I will not, I will still be working. I'll just be working on my stuff, which is stuff that I have fun doing. So, that is going to be it. This is a shorter stream today. I got some shit I got to finish. And also, I think we've pretty much wrapped everything up. We've got a few more streams left in the new year. Happy Hanukkah. Happy second night of Hanukkah to anybody who celebrates. Happy, I don't remember, a couple of days before Saturnalia? No, Saturnalia is already happening. There's a lot of holidays happening right now. Hanukkah started last night. Saturnalia is coming up. Christmas is this weekend. Kwanzaa is next week. And the winter solstice. Look at that. A lot is happening this week. What a time to be alive. Happy holidays, my friends. I will see you on Wednesday. I am going to finish this nasty ass beer and then go through the rest of the items on my checklist, because I want to be productive today. I appreciate you, and I hope you have a good night.